Hello, and welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Jen Slay. I acknowledge that London, Ontario is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenape and Shenandoah peoples, on lands connected with the London Township and Sombra Treaties of 1796 and the Dish with One Spoon Covenant Wampum. I want to express my gratitude to the Indigenous peoples and their ancestors for what I and my family have received as settlers on Turtle Island. I also acknowledge the sacrifices made by my ancestors who came before me, allowing me to be here and have the opportunities afforded to me. It feels like the holidays are right around the corner, doesn't it? As soon as Halloween is over, Christmas decor can be found at any mall, store, and online. With the holiday season comes concerts, events, and lots of fun. Today, we will be talking to event coordinators and musicians, but we also need to pay attention to a very important issue, which you will have to stay tuned for to hear all about. Our first guests are no strangers to the show. Have you heard about the Merry Market at 100 Kellogg Lane? Well, they are back for their third annual Merry Market. If you have not heard about this event, then you may be wondering, what is the Merry Market? Glad you asked. Here to talk to us about it are Angela Ribard and Emily Barnes with Courtyard Events. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
No problem. So, what is the Merry Market?
Do you want to
Sure, yeah. So the Merry Market, it is once a year around the holidays. So this year it is December 1st is when it kicks off, and it goes for 3 weekends. So we have vendors inside and outside. So indoors we have a Twinkle Town with indoor vendors. Outside's a winter village. So we have some artisan hut vendors, and there's lots to do. There's food and drinks and just shopping, and yeah, it's always a good time.
Oh my goodness. And so this is the third year.
Yeah, this is the third year. Yeah.
Okay, so 2019 is when it started? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then COVID.
2020.
Yeah. Okay, so it started
2021, 22.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it started in COVID then.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
So this is definitely sweet for us because last year we still had some things that were still trickling from COVID, and so this year we're really excited to finally be the Merry Market that is just open, and the energy is so great.
So it's something for everybody in the family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and every experience can be different. You can kind of personalize it to what you and your friends or family enjoy doing.
Ooh, tell me more about that. What do you mean?
Yeah, so we have, like Andrew was saying, we have the Clubhouse, which is a restaurant with some golf simulators and mini golf. And then we have a brewery, Powerhouse Brewery on site, and Paradigm Distillery. So you can kind of, hop around, come for dinner, go to the market, shop. You can make it a whole experience, which I think is something super unique to our market.
Nice. And you mentioned something earlier about Christmas tree lighting.
Yeah, so every year we light these super magical 35-foot tall Christmas tree. It has Tony the Tiger stuffies on there,
cereal boxes.
So this year every year we light it to launch the Merry Market. So this year we're doing that once again. It's on December 1st, and 4:45 p.m. is when we're going to light the big tree, and that will kick off the 3 weeks of absolute spectacular magical moments for everyone. Tons of Instagrammable backdrops, so we're looking forward to seeing everyone's smiles.
Right. And you mentioned that this has kind of become a tradition now for people.
Yeah, it's super nice to see some familiar faces, and with it being our third year, we get a lot of people super excited to come back and get to make it a tradition with their friends or family.
Awesome. Okay, so just a reminder for people, when is the Merry Market? Where can they find you?
So the Merry Market is the first 3 weekends of December, from the Thursday to the Sunday. So you can check out hours and more information on our Instagram page, 100 Kellogg, or our website, 100 Kellogg Lane, Facebook as well. Or you can see our advertisements on the bus. We have a bus, a Merry Market bus that's going around.
Okay.
And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and I look forward to it.
Yay! Thanks for having
us.
We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Now playing all Christmas music. Easy 101.3.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
It was my daughter's birthday. She was blowing out the candles on her cake when we heard coming from the TV. So we stopped and listened, and it helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of my daughter's birthday, because now she gets to keep having them.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back. Now remember when I said we had an important topic to discuss? Well, in London, Middlesex, we have an overrepresentation of Black children and youth in care and not enough Black foster parents available to ensure the cultural and racial match. You may wonder, why is that important? All a child needs is to be loved. Well, the supervisor of Black African Canadian Services at the Children's Aid Society is here, as well as one of our foster parents, to educate us about this very important issue. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
So, Colette, please share with us, why is it important for the cultural racial match for children who are in care?
Well, I think you hit on it when you were talking in the intro. Part of it, what we look at is also that whole transmission of culture, right? Transmission of values, transmission of beliefs, transmission related to identity as well, right? And you talked about the overrepresentation, and I wanted to add something to that, because right now what you're looking at in London, according to the last census that was completed, Blacks represent about 4.2% in London. Mm-hmm. And Black children in care represent almost 9%. Wow. Right? So that's where we have that disproportionality mm-hmm. in terms of children coming into our care. Mm-hmm. So one of the things, those are some of the contributing factors, right? So one of the things we are looking for is to have proper representation of Black homes for children. In our system, we just don't have them. Mm-hmm. So sometimes what ends up happening is children are placed out of their home territory. Right. Some are placed in rural communities, mm-hmm. right, where there might not be anyone who looks like them, mm-hmm. right? So there's a lot of things that our Black youth and our Black children encounter, right? And mm-hmm. some people may not be able to deal with it, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. That experience of racism, and having to teach that child what that is about, and how you move mm-hmm. in those types of scenarios. Right. So one of the things we're looking for at the agency is to increase our Black foster homes, right? And one of the other things with our Black foster homes is we want to make sure that all of our children get represented. Okay, so within the homes as well, we need people who are going to be open to the various different types of youth we'll have. So there's a lot of intersections that will come about, whether it's religion, cultural, sexual identity, gender. So we want foster parents who are open to be able to embrace all of those children, because we really want to be able to reduce the number of children that we have in care.
Right. Thank you. And Carol, you are one of our foster parents.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
What made you want to foster?
I just wanted give a child like a chance in life, mm-hmm. Whether it be like education or I don't know. It just makes me feel good that I can be and help
mm-hmm.
them, to be whatever they want to be, or just, to me, it's like when I have a child in foster care, you know that I'm doing something with them. They're so happy, and they trust me. They start to trust me, and what I mean by that is, if I have a little baby in my care, like maybe after a month, if I like disappear somewhere, like they'll start, crying, and because I know that they want me, they trust me, they're starting to love me. So it makes me feel good when that happens, or they want to hold my hand, or they want to tell me something. They'll run to me when they see me and stuff like that. So so it makes me feel good, and that I can, help them.
Yeah, and we know, like, research has shown us that with children, it's important for them to be able to see themselves in the home, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it goes back, and I know, Carol, I mean, it goes back to that whole transmission of culture, right?
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you the amount of kids who've been adopted, right, whether Black, adopted into another home or such, that they didn't see themselves represented, right? And when they come, or when you hear them on the phone talking about it, and that importance of wishing they had a Black foster home, right? Because you're right, they see themselves, and it's just a different type of learning that occurs.
If a Black child comes into my care, I always make sure that when I do the room, I'm thoughtful of them. So they'll have, like, I have lots of Black art. So what I'll do is the bedroom will be a lot of Black art, a lot of storybooks. I have a lot of Black storybooks. So I share the books with them, and they can see themselves, so they're happy. Yeah, they feel proud. That
And so how can a family, if they're interested and just want to learn more, what can they do to find out more information?
They can go on our website. It's Children's Aid of London, Middlesex, or they can actually call us at 519-455-9000. They can go through to the reception, because they're able to actually call about inquiry. You can have a resource worker come out and tell you the different types of a possibility, because not everyone wants to foster long-term. Some might do relief, some might do long-term, some, so there's different categories they can come and learn about. So all it takes is a call, again, 519-455-9000.
Thank you so much for both of you for being here today.
Thank you.
No problem.
We will be right back.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
Most people that have received treatment for drug use problems are probably going to have a lapse.
Join addictions counselor Dean Anderson for Invisible, Breaking Through the Stigma of Addiction, on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Dan Mailer. I'm the host of London Lights, the show where we talk about notable Londoners who have made a big mark, big impact on the world of music, entertainment, sports, politics.
I did it. I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back. The London Symphonia will be hosting an evening called By the Fireside with Leila Bialy, curating the concert, arranging the pieces, and the individual who is working extensively with Leila is here to share more. Please welcome Scott Good, the composer in residence for London. Well, Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. So tell us a little bit about what the London Symphonia has coming up.
Yeah, sure. Every winter season, we like to have a seasonal concert in December. It's a really popular time for people to want to go and hear music. And also something that we like to do every year is feature a singer-songwriter. So this year we've combined those two efforts, and we're having the incredible Laila Bayali join us for a seasonal celebration concert, Christmas, but also secular. It's meant for everyone. So that's what we have going on December 10th.
Wonderful. So December 10th, we're going to hear Laila Bayali. And can you tell us a little bit about Laila?
Sure. Laila is a Juno Award-winning jazz singer. And she's also a fabulous pianist as well. So she'll be coming and playing piano and singing. And she's also, she's multiple threat. She's an incredible arranger. So we're going to be doing a fair number of songs that people will be familiar with, but in ways that they might not be so familiar with. So I've actually been working with her directly to come up with new arrangements of songs like My Favorite Things, and actually just finishing up Joy to the World right now, and a whole bunch of lovely songs. And then she will be, and Laila is also a great songwriter in her own right. So she's also going to be bringing a couple of her own original songs, as well as covering Joni Mitchell as well. So she's kind of known for her Joni Mitchell covers. Mm-hmm. So what we always try to do with these singer-songwriter concerts is really try and feature them in their full light. So you really get a chance to hear Laila as the singer, the pianist, the arranger, the composer, and the host. She's a lovely person. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And so will there be instrumentalists behind her, accompanying her?
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have an orchestra. We have a nice big string section, and some horns, some trumpet and trombone. She's also bringing her own trio with her.
Okay.
So George Kohler will be playing bass, who's a phenomenal bass player, and her husband Ben, I cannot remember his last name. I'm sorry about that. But he will be playing drum set. And also we have William Sperandi coming as well as sort of a special guest artist to come and blow some wicked jazz solos on his trumpet. So there's going to be lots of music to hear. And on top of that, and most exciting, is we have the HB Beale singers and the London singers. We have a choir, a mass of looks like we're going to have about 70 or 80 singers on stage.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be very celebratory. It's going to be epic at times. It's going to be a lot of fun. Something I forgot to mention about Laila when you asked me about her is that she's super funky too. Like, she's got a really great rhythm. Uh-huh. So it's going to be a really fun night. I'm actually super excited about it. We've been working hard on the arrangements. So this is pretty much across the board new arrangements for this concert. Mm. And myself, I've brought some arrangements, as well as Drew Dureka, who's kind of a fairly well-known string arranger, is also bringing some arrangements. So lots to hear.
So you mentioned a couple of songs. Are there going to be some of the traditional Christmas songs as well that you're going to jazz up?
Yeah, for sure. Like Let It Snow, for instance, which is usually a pretty jazzy kind of song, but it's got kind of a modern twist on it. Now, this is sort of like a little bit esoteric here, but we're doing My Favorite Things, which is kind of like a seasonal favorite, but it's in a whole new kind of like rhythmic light, like kind of an Afro-Cuban feel to it.
Okay.
Rather than it's usually kind of a jazz waltz. It's really cool. I'm really excited about that. We have Carol the Bells, actually quite an emotional version of Carol the Bells. To be honest, we were thinking a little bit about Ukraine.
Okay.
It's a Ukrainian song. So there's going to be some emotion in this as well. We'll be playing this really touching, beautiful song by Merle Haggard. And it's relatively unknown, but it's called If We Make It Through December. Okay. And it's kind of a little bit of a reach out to those of us in the community, especially in London. People are having trouble, going to have trouble making it through the winter. So we think Christmas a concert is an appropriate time to be reaching out to that and be thinking about those people.
It sounds absolutely amazing.
I think it's going to be a really fun concert for everybody. Everybody can enjoy this one.
It definitely sounds like it. Thank you so much, Scott, for taking the time and being here with us today.
Thank you for having me, and we'll talk soon.
We'll be right back.
I'm Mike Jack. I've broken multiple world records for eating some of the world's hottest peppers. Now, I'm challenging London restaurants to make some of the world's hottest food. Watch Jack Up the Heat Mondays at 5:30.
My dad was a railway porter. It was just about the only job a black man could get. But he had big plans for us. Music would be our ticket out of poverty. I knew we couldn't afford that piano, so I practiced twice as hard.
Nice, Daisy. Okay, Oscar, let's hear it.
Turns out, I wasn't half bad. Then I found jazz, or it found me. It wasn't all easy, though. I faced a lot of hate, but I found my stage. They call me the man with 4 hands. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see how far this ticket takes me.
From Montreal to Carnegie Hall and far beyond, Oscar Peterson became one of the most recorded and celebrated jazz musicians of all time.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Welcome back. We have a wonderful treat for you today. Artists who have worked with names like Looney, John Vinyl, Curtis Waters, and Cardinal Aufbischau. They are here. Our guests are currently working with one another to collaborate on what sounds like a pretty interesting project. Let's hear more. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So tell us a little bit about who you are as artists.
Okay. Well, I'm Lucy, and I started I've always had music in my life because my dad's a musician, but I never really wanted to pursue it as a career until a couple years ago. And I've known John since high school, and you'll hear more about this, but he is a producer. So we started collaborating in that way. And then I just kind of like found my sound with him. And I realized that I really like gigging around and stuff like that. So music, I kind of recentered my focus to music, and my sound is a little bit of pop, a little bit of indie, some singer-songwriter. It's kind of like sometimes like we'll do different vibes too, and like kind of like my sound is my sound rather than like it being pigeonholed into one specific genre.
I find a lot of artists say that, like, I don't like to be pigeonholed into one genre.
Yeah. And I feel like I never really understood that until I started doing music, because like even we started working on this one song, the last studio session we had, and it's like a little bit more punky almost, like lo-fi punk. And like at first you'd be like, that's kind of weird, like that wouldn't really seem like it like is your genre, but if you're not pigeonholed, you can kind of play more, I feel like. If that makes sense.
Okay.
And I'm John Fellner. I'm a producer from London here, and so Lucy and I started working together a number of years ago, and I work with different artists in and around Toronto and kind of around the world a little bit.
Awesome. So tell us about the project that you're working on that you've collaborated on together.
Yeah, so I guess to kind of answer that question, we got to kind of go back a little bit. So this kind of all starts with a lady here in London named Mai Tilson. And she put together this creative space called Xuux, spelled X-U-U-X. It's a little confusing if you just see it, but yeah, it's a Mexican word, and it means beehive. So it's this creative space that she started with another film developer named Oven, and a hairstylist as well. So they kind of had this creative space, and so Maya and I met a number of years ago. And she's a photographer by trade, so she started taking photos of me as an artist, and then we became fast friends. And then fast forward a little bit, I released a song in February, and we decided to have a little show at her space, and it went really, really well. And we kind of, took a couple of things away from it. One, that it sounded really great in there. So we kind of had this idea to do another show, and that's kind of how Silliance was born. Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I remember we were all kind of just hanging out there working on some stuff, and John had talked to Mai about wanting to do a show, and I had been talking to Mai about maybe wanting to do another show. So we were all there together, and John brought it up, and we were like, yeah, we should definitely do this. And then we were like corresponding, figuring it all out, and like at first we were thinking, oh, we'll just, the two of us will play. And they were like, no, we have so many other artist friends that are so amazing that we've worked with in many different ways, and we've done like retreats with and stuff for writing and stuff like that. So John came up with the idea of having us all come together and all be on stage at the same time, rather than like I come up, I sing a song, and then I leave, and then John comes up, and then, like the switch out kind of vibe. So instead, we were all on the stage at the same time, singing on everyone's songs, doing the harmonies, and having a live band, and having our tracks sound the way they sound like if you were to listen to them online, rather than just like me. Usually if I play, it's just me and my guitar. So it's a totally different vibe than what you're gonna sound on or hear on Spotify. So it was kind of having the backtracks and having it be a whole experience, rather than just like another gig that you kind of get to see anytime you come and see us play.
And it's really more of a showcase rather than just another show. We wanted to make it an experience for people. So, and I think that's kind of what we kind of established that London really needs. So this hub is kind of becoming that, I think, slowly, trying to create a space where artists can be collaborative with one another, but also, people who are going to experience this can, come and see something unique and something that's going to elevate these artists' careers rather than just be another, opportunity or a gig, just something that's gonna take a step forward. So that was kind of the vision.
Well, it's very creative and innovative, so that's amazing. And I know London has amazing artists.
Yes.
Like amazing artists.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to hear about this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. Well, that is a wrap. Thank you for joining me today. Please visit the websites and social media platforms of our guests to support their efforts. Also, please visit our website so you can catch up on what you might have missed. I look forward to being here again with you next week, and I ask that you please like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Be well, take care, and I'll see you next week.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
I'm Mike Jack. I've broken multiple world records and won several competitions for eating some of the world's hottest peppers. Now, I'm challenging London restaurants to make some of the world's hottest food.
Hey, speak properly.
Oh, how are you doing, man? Uh-oh. Watch Jack Up the Heat Mondays at 5:30.